stunning today. I absolutely love
Thank
your
you so
look.
much.
So I have to ask, this is a comedy series, clearly,
It
but this
is.
is also some woman's real life story out
Mm.
there. What advice would you give to the real life Molly that is this?
I think that the real life Molly, I mean, when I think about that, I think about this part of her life where she is starting over and asking herself hard questions about who she wants to be that she didn't really ask herself before she got married and supported someone else's dreams. I guess I'd say to her that you're doing the hard part now, but it's only going to get better. And we're very proud of you because it's really hard to do this part, I think. And I think the nice part about showing the flaws of a character and showing the humanity is that people can connect in their own way about it, which is the way I like to connect with shows.
Love that. And clearly, you've done some amazing work over the duration of your career. You've been a part of nearly 120 projects. You received
What?
57 award nominations. You've
What?
landed 24 award wins, five of which primetime Emmys.
Wow, good work.
No, good work for
Hey,
you.
thanks.
What would another Emmy mean for you?
I mean, another Emmy. I'm proud. I can't believe I have one Emmy, let alone five.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not mad at it. It's
yeah.
very
You
cool.
earned it. You earned it, girl.
We just like put them on a shelf the other day, and I was like, oh,
Oh, I love
whose Emmys are those? It feels a little. It feels a little like pinch me, um, but I'm so proud of this show and the people that I'm making it with. So I think when you get to celebrate something that you're doing that means a lot to you, that's even better. But it's just nice to be here. Got to keep it grounded.
I love it. And before I let you go, soon you will be hosting SNL.
Yeah.
Any thoughts that you can share with us about what we can expect?
Uh, of course, it's not written yet, but it's Mother's Day, so
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, I'm so excited.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Maya.
my pleasure.
Thank you.
Nice to
Well,
I
we're
love you too.
matching.
Come on, I
Yes,
love you too.
yes, yes, yes. So, MJ, talk to me about your role throughout the series as Sophia. I would love to hear one to two things that you learned working on this project because I feel like your character was a little complex but very realistic and relatable because there are so many women out here who work in corporate America
Yes.
who juggles between, trying to find a healthy balance,
Hmm.
all work, no play,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
And you were just literally all work. Although we saw you break out of that shell season 2, talk to me about what you learned playing this role and filling these shoes.
I will say in the beginning of season one, like you said, we got to see her really like climb the ladder, even though she was the COO to the CEO, right? But in season two, we get to see her blossom a little bit more. We get to see her personality. We get to see the versatility of Sophia. Aside from her being so stark and stiff, we get to see her squirm a little bit. I love seeing her squirm. It makes her more realistic. It makes the character more relatable when it comes to relationships in general. So I love that growth about her. And also, still like she's solidified in her position. And I think Molly has completely helped her out with that. So I love that about her.
And let's go a little personal really quick. I feel
Yeah,
like I always have to dig in a
I love
little
it.
bit deeper. Why do you feel like women in general, especially women of color, why do you think that we find it very challenging trying to figure out, okay, do I put all my eggs into one basket with my career or do I stick it out with the boo? Like why do you feel like that's something that's so complicated for us to figure out?
I think, and I'll speak from our experience too. I mean, I think there's so much stacked against us in general in the workspace and just in general as women of color. There's a standard that we sometimes feel that we have to live up to when in reality we do not. We just have to simply be ourselves. And I think that's the most important thing. I think sometimes we can hold ourselves back if we think too much, but we don't need to think as much. We are who we are. We've been here. We've been working hard for what we've been doing, and it ain't gonna stop. Like I think that's how I move, and I ain't gonna stop. And I think my main thing when it comes to just women of color and trans women of color as well is to motivate and let them know that playing a position like this, it shows how we can climb up the ladder, how we can obtain these jobs, how we can be in full position in these jobs and be boss women in these spaces. It doesn't always consist of men. We love you men out there, we really do, but we're really happy for the girls in position and who are bosses, like Molly and Sophia.
Yes, and before I let you go, it would be very remiss of me to not mention the fact that you are the very first transgender
Yes.
Golden Globe winner. Take me back to that season of your life. What did that moment feel like for you, and in what ways do you feel like it has helped to shape the trajectory of your career moving forward?
You know, it changed my life tremendously because I didn't know the world would actually see a transgender woman like in her full essence and to actually like be aligned in like womanhood in general. So it feels really, really good. I'm glad that I'm finally in the space where it's not just me as a trans woman. It's not just biological women as biological women. It's us together and holding space together. And I think that's the best part that, you know, me and Maya get to share. We get to, not only, like I said, we get to share a space where we're both bosses in a position. She's the CEO to her CEO. And that is a huge step in general. So I mean, it's huge, and I love seeing growth. I love growing, and yeah, I'm open to continuing to grow.
And honey, you are about to walk off in these red bottoms,
Yeah.
but two fireballs I want to throw your way. One word that you would use to describe Maya, and if you had $87 billion, what would you do with it?
Okay, Maya. Well, I don't want to say hilarious because we know she's hilarious, but she is loving. So I will say that. I really do. She's my heart. And what I would do with $80 billion, $87 billion, I mean, my cheesy, like nerdy stuff would buy a whole bunch of video games and just play them on my PS5. Oh yeah, a lot of people don't know that. You know, she's really enthralled in fashion, but like that's the cover up. Like she's really a nerd. But in real life, I would put it towards like a sanctuary for like gardening and climate change. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Are like showing up and showing out. Listen, whether we are indoors, outdoors, I don't care what type of doors it is, you are busting through. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It feels great to be recognized for showing up in a look finally. But yeah, no, I'm feeling great. It's fun to be at these kinds of events with the rest of the cast because it's just I don't know, we miss each other. We don't get to see each other except for events like this a lot of the time. So yeah.
So listen, your role, I feel like you were kind of like the devil sitting on the right and the left side of Maya's, aka Molly's shoulder.
Absolutely.
The fashionable, very transparent devil, right? Talk to me about the dynamic of you and Maya's relationship, you know, personally and professionally, and what has it been like on this journey working alongside her?
And I've said this elsewhere, and it's just the truth. I don't know how else to put it, but working with Maya is one of the greatest privileges of my career thus far. I learned so much from her, like sharing a scene with her every time is just like a lesson in taking huge swings, making big choices, and being fearless with those choices too. And that is like, I think the biggest thing that I've taken away from working so closely with Maya, especially this season, is to, we're on a closed set, like look like an idiot if you want, and just don't think about, how you're looking or how it might come, just like go for it. And I think that is, a testament to the kind of performer she is and the kind of performer I would love to be someday. So it's been really, really wonderful. And Maya, as an executive producer and everything on the set, she is an amazing boss. She really is. And she really loves her family, which is really helpful to have a boss who loves their family. So we all get out on time.
Yes, that's a win-win.
Yeah.
And listen, this series is about money, 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 money. I'm gonna let you finish this part.
Money!
So talk to me about your personal thoughts when it comes to, wealth and materialism in general.
Well, I mean, I'm really proud to be on a show that has said explicitly that billionaires shouldn't exist because it's something that I believe. I know there's a little bit of cognitive dissonance there because it is on Apple, but we sort of plow ahead. But yeah, no, listen, I think it's becoming clearer and clearer that there is a huge gap in the people at the top and the people, are there even people in the middle anymore, And
Right.
as of course he's coming in as I'm giving my like Bernie Sanders stump speech over here about billionaires. But yeah, no, I think that there's I think like especially after the strikes and the strikes that we're seeing across the nation and the unions that we're seeing pop up, it's so important to seeing actual change because listen, voting is important. Everybody vote, but I think that we're starting to really see that the people that are actually pulling the strings and actually have a lot of power in this country are the billionaires and the millionaires and the businessmen. And I think like if you have the opportunity to join a union, you should.
I love that. So I have two questions that I'm going to tie into one before I let you go. Really quick questions. I know that, Maya, over the duration of your comedic career in startup, you admire her being a part of SNL and basically her path, particularly as it relates to comedy. Do you ever want to host SNL yourself? A. And B, before you walk off, if you had $87 billion, what are three things that you would do with it?
I absolutely. I mean, I think it's everybody's dream to host SNL. No matter who you are, how you grew up, whether you're a comedian or not. Like, I think it's a huge honor. It's like it's such an institution. I would love to be on with my friend Bowen. Before, I'll get famous enough to do that before he leaves the show. And in terms of $87 billion, I would buy my mom a house. I would buy my sister a house. And I would probably do what Molly did. Honestly, I'd buy up some of these abandoned hotels in LA, get some people housed. Yeah.
You're not leaving me a dime. Okay.
No, listen. I'll get you a gift card, maybe something.
Nicholas, I'm done with you. Thank you so much for chatting with me today. Thank you. So my first question to you is, do you have plans on getting rid of that cute little new girlfriend of yours? What is up with this new boo? She is like blocking all of Molly's action.
I know, and I both in my character and in my personal life am a total dork. So like, why I deserve like a model? Yeah, like it just doesn't make sense. However, I will take it and I will accept it and I will enjoy it.
Because it's definitely fun.
It's very fun. It's
Some really good eye candy.
It is some good eye candy. And yes, I don't know what she's doing with me. I mean, I'm such a dork. I'm like forever.
But I'll tell you what she's doing to Molly and the crew. She's pissing her off.
I know, which is good for my character, right? Yes. I mean, a little like competition doesn't hurt, right? Like.
Fast forward for me, Nat. Can we expect a happy ending? Is there going to be a season 3?
Fingers crossed. I am fingers crossed. I don't know, to be answered. And that is the total truth. I'm not saying this and dragging this out. I don't totally know. My hope is that there is, because I feel like there's so much more story to tell. And I love Arthur and Molly's relationship. I love that it is a little bit of a will they, won't they. I feel like it's in line with like classic TV that I grew up on. There's so many great stories of that in the past that I feel like we're following in the tradition of. So I do hope that we can continue the story, because these two are on different divergent paths, but they do feel like they should converge at some point.
Absolutely. And I love the fact that both of you have somewhat of similar stories, having gone through divorces.
Yes.
Like, talk to me about, working so closely with Maya, aka Molly, throughout this entire series.
Yes. I've known Maya for a very long time. We started the Groundlings Theater together in Hollywood, and so we have known each other for 20-something plus years. I mean, I was 6 when we met. Because I'm just in my late 20s now. But 30, yes, it's just about to happen. But no, I think that familiarity, that like love for each other, that enjoyment of making each other laugh, and just the sort of camaraderie and that spirit is so genuine and unique, and when you get to work with somebody like that, you really just put your full trust in them. And I admire her and I adore her, and I think she's one of the funniest people out there. So getting to work with her, I feel like is just a very fun, familiar feeling. So I think when we get to do scenes together, there is just an innate trust because of our history together. And, I hope, again, that continues.
And of course, we're here for FYC Emmy season. Talk to me about your honest thoughts, your hopes. Fingers crossed.
I know, fingers crossed. I mean, I adore the show. I would love to, I would love if there was some recognition for the show. I think people do watch it. It's such a fun, there's so much going on in the world, and to have something that's just sort of nice and easy and digestible and to go to bed to, that should get recognized. It is a busy marketplace out there. There are a lot of things out and people all vying for contention, so I get it.
But ain't nobody coming close to Luke, let's be clear.
I know. I feel like there's a lot of love for the show, so I would love for it to, bask in that recognition.
One thing that you would do with $87 billion before I let you go.
Oh, I mean, this is lame. I mean, I should say, I'm going to save the climate, or I'm going to save the rainforest, or I'm going to help the homeless, or these are all things that I should do. But selfishly, what I probably would want to do is just throw a world party and have everybody get down and party.
I love that.
Everybody's invited, all walks of life. Yes, just this is a non-exclusive party.
I love it. Well, I hope to see you at that party one day.
Yes, let's party. Let's party.
So
Yes, thank you.
We meet again. I met you at the NBC luncheon. So my first question is going to be personal. How was your son's 21st birthday? Do you remember we had that conversation? You were flying out, I believe, the next day to celebrate him. How was his birthday?
It was wonderful. We went to New Orleans. We went to a jazz festival. He ate beignets. He had a beautiful time. He went to a strip club and he touched a butt. So he loved it.
I love it. So listen, you are clearly Maya's cousin throughout this series. And I like to refer to your role somewhat as being the connective tissue between her finding balance, from marital chaos and tapping back into reality. Talk to me about what the viewers who have not checked out the series yet, what can they expect to see between the dynamic of yourself and Molly's relationship?
I love our relationship because I get to basically feel how I feel about Maya in real life, which is I've loved her since I was growing up. And so to be able to kind of portray that love through this character as her cousin, and the type of cousin that I think everyone wants. We all have those family, and sometimes people are family more in name than they are in blood, And Howard's role is that he tells the truth. And no matter whether it's positive, whether it's good, whether it builds her up, or if it's something that she just needs to hear, And so Howard's role is to remind her that her family is there for her no matter how much money she has. He doesn't want any money from her. He wants to maybe live in her house. Exactly, but it just makes sense. But this person who's I don't want anything from you. I'm just here. I see the people around you. I want to make sure that someone is looking after you.
Yes, and I love that. One of my favorite scenes of yours was in season 2, episode 5. During the audition, when you guys had the two fellas to, basically break you guys down, during the audition process. What is it that viewers can expect to see in that particular scene?
I guess what they can expect to see is what the writers think about me, apparently. Because I was they are just hitting it on the head and nailing things that I didn't think people would say about me. I didn't know I looked like Luther Vandross, but then I look at pictures of Luther Vandross and I'm like, that's fine, and I'm okay with that.
Yes. Before I let you go, if you had $87 billion, what are 1 to 2 things that you would do with it? Please include me.
Okay, I mean, if I got 87, sure, you can have $1 billion. Why not? Yeah, I got 80. Now I got 86, and I gotta give at least 5 to my mom to make up for the one I gave you. So So I just take care of my family, make sure no one around me has to work, and then we probably have a lot of fun. I buy an NBA team and then make them let me play.
Okay.
So I kind of be like a dictator in ways.
I love it. I love it. Control boss. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, and I love you on this series. So good to see you also. It really is good to see you. It was a good birthday? Okay, so first things first. You're the executive producer behind this amazing series that, fingers crossed, land a couple of Emmy nominations.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I have to know, where is this mansion at that Molly lives in? Where did you guys film it? And can I please get an invite to sit at the table? Talk to me about that filming location.
Yeah, well, their house this year is actually in Malibu, and it was, the joke in the show is that she's sort of like downsizing, you know, so she went from a $100 million house to an $80 million house. So we went way up the beach in Malibu and found this like gorgeous house that they had just constructed, and it's beautiful. One of the most fun things we do every year when we're putting the show together is scout houses in LA and see all the craziest houses that these actual millionaires and billionaires live in, and it's really fun, but it also makes you think like, wow, this is the real estate market in LA is like absolutely insane. Yeah.
So speaking of that, do you work with particular real estate companies, you know, in the scouting process?
Yeah, we have a really great location department, and they work with a lot of like real estate companies, and they always like find really like unbelievable like properties for us to look at and shoot at, you know. Yeah.
Talk to me about the billions. Why did you guys choose such an odd number? Maya being an $87 billionaire. Like, why that particular number? I thought that was very intriguing and interesting.
You know, I don't know where that number came from. I think we were trying to think of, I think I had maybe gone through some like actual like divorce settlements, and I was like, what is the actual most money anyone has ever made in some sort of settlement like that? And I think that number maybe came from there. Yeah.
Both of the seasons and all of the characters, which story would you feel was most complicated to bring to the screen? Was it?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we did a big fashion show episode, and it was really, really like gratifying, but really complicated to paint like a true, like off the wall, like huge fashion show happening. But what was so fun was that Maya was able to just like really, really have fun while she was like walking the catwalk, and she was so funny doing it that all the extras applauded her after she did her performance. So yeah. Oh, I mean, we've done another show with her. She's an unbelievable actress. She can do everything so well. She's so funny, but she also really can sell the heart of the character, you know? She's so good at sort of making you feel for this woman who, yes, is a billionaire, but also is going through a lot of things in her life and trying to make herself better, and she's so great at doing that.
Like I'm talking your ears off, but of course this is Emmy FYC season, so I have to know, how optimistic are you that this series will land a couple of Emmy nominations?
Oh, I mean, I think everybody who works on the show deserves an Emmy, from the actors to the writers to the people who put everything together. It's just such an incredible group of artists and craftsmen that I hope they all get one.
Fingers crossed. Congrats on everything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.